Hello guys, welcome to another episode of our survival on Triton. And look at that, the base is finally pressurizing the whole hangar bay. Woohoo! So let's start this episode. Let's see something that I did thanks to the suggestion of a viewer. The whole hangar base was too dark. There were so many spots totally dark. You can see there are still dark spots, but now the floor is mostly illuminated thanks to a series of 2 rows of spotlights that I have tuned up a little bit. Like intensity is twice as the default value. I think it's 2 or 4, I don't remember. I think it's 2. Anyways, let's go downstairs. I will not jump this time like an educated person. I will use the elevator. Sorry for the clipping audio and maybe also the video. Sometimes the hard drive of my computer doesn't hold up. I need an upgrade. Anyways, even if Triton seems to have an atmosphere that is almost the one you have on Earth, it seems to be a little lower, like 90%. Plus, you have to heat up the air, so that's why it takes a while. It has to fill that 10%, and that's I think what happens. Anyways, now I can drink my coffee here inside the hangar bay. Ideal. Was a lot of work, but finally we have it. But right after pressurizing the whole hangar, I made this giant hole because I needed to do that. I'm sorry, I need it. Okay, let me explain. The thing is that I was working on pressurizing the whole hangar area, and then I noticed a comment, I think on YouTube, of a viewer that said it's a little bit too dark, the base, especially if you see you are using spotlight very often. It means you don't have enough lights. And wow, this guy was right, and I followed his advice, and I decided to illuminate the floor using a series of spotlights on the roof. But as I have this crane that almost touches the roof, I had to raise it a little bit on these 2 rows that I had to add, and it took me a while because I also had to carve on voxel, on the rocks, I mean, and then weld up everything in order to and possibly make it look a little better than not plain wool. So I did it. I think the result is pretty good. It can be improved. Probably I will in the future, but for now I'm quite happy. So let's see the final result. I hope you really like it as I do. Okay, so here you can notice these 2 rows of lights. There are spotlights and also some corner lights that are colored in yellow. Plus I've used slopes and interior blocks with the sci-fi texture that gives this little nice detail on an otherwise very plain roof. I will probably repeat this technique to make some variations along the walls. And here I am getting rid of this. What is this? Well, it was my elevator. I used that when I was left without hydrogen, so I had to go upstairs, and I wanted something quick and cool to go upstairs to the control room and the living quarters in general. But the position was not ideal, was on a side and very too close actually to the hangar doors. That's why I decided to build the elevator in another position, and precisely in the middle of the hangar bay, right below the med bay. So here from the control room, I have access to the new elevator. I open this sliding door. The elevator is coming thanks to a sensor. There we go. As you can see, it's just one block. The sliding door and a catwalk placed as a back wall. And sensors allow me to call the elevator and go wherever I want without pushing any button. And as you can see, the hangar is still pressurizing because I had to open the hangar again in order to fix a couple of things on the elevator. But we are now ready to open it again, because on the other side I have to rebuild the same structure you just saw: the elevator, the control room, the landing pads, and the living quarters. I will just make slight changes to the design and maybe the use of each room. Still, I will have to reproduce the same structure on the other side. So here we are on the other side. I have already placed 2 pistons. It's not so visible, but are 2 pistons, 3 blocks down the floor level. And then here you can see it's a sliding door where I will place on its back a catwalk, and this in order to obtain an enclosed and sealed environment. Let's carve a little bit because voxels aren't allowing me to place this block. Ready. So place this block, and as soon as everything is welded, you will see it's a very compact elevator. So you may notice, let me show you, right behind the elevator as I've placed that catwalk, I need to place a half block to leave a little bit of gap. So yeah, placing these blocks in order to seal all this area too, and we can go on welding the rest. I'm trying with the welder arm, but it's too tight. I can't reach that spot. Well, at least the sliding door is welded. I can reach this spot too. This, I guess the rest will be welded by hand. So let's stick some materials, some components, I mean. Let's place the missing blocks. Ooh, the welder arm is too close. That's there you go. And welding the rest. Da-da-da. Okay, I think now we are again in a sealed environment. I hope. No, it's not. It's still too cold. Let's have a look. Well, alright, move forward. I have fixed the leak. There was a couple of blocks that were hidden, and I've built this structure. As I said, it has to be more or less. I plan to make slight changes to the design, but more or less it should be the same as this elevator here. Then I will change also the original elevator structure in order to have something specular and good looking, hopefully. So let's continue building block, welding, and so on and so forth. Alright, so grabbing the welding arm, I love it. That's why I show this part quite often. I can weld non-stop, and that's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, talking about the welding arm and the crane, I mentioned to some of the viewers that I will make a special episode about this. Actually, this should have been that special episode. But I decided that I will postpone it. I am sorry, because I thought I will need to redesign this welding arm. It's too high in height, it's too big, so we'll have to make it more compact in a way that won't bother when the large ship is built, so I can move the crane even with the big ship inside the hangar bay. So yeah, hopefully soon you will see a special episode where we will build this crane with the welding arm using MarmOS. Okay, so here I'm already welding also the platform of the second control room. As you can see, I'm using the welding arm. And this way I will have the other end of the elevator ready to be welded and also used. Also, this second control room is slightly different. I will probably reflect these changes onto the other side too. So it's done practically. As you can see here, I have placed a bottom panel, but I will most likely use sensors again. Eventually I will show you how to set it in order to work properly in the next episode. Alright, so before wrapping up this episode, I forgot to show you in the previous episode what I've been doing with the living quarters. I have created this space. There is a kitchen, there is a dining space, and other stuff that I will just show you. Yeah, the dispenser over there, it's very important. Here's the kitchen, simple one. Table for 2 persons, and the menu for today. Plain cola with synthetic pizza and synthetic spaghetti is the other alternative. On Triton you don't have a lot of choices. You want a coffee? I do. So let's buy one. If I can find correctly. There we go. Now, I'll show you this area. It's a giant TV screen with another look of pretty cool hangar bay with a pretty cool spaceship in another universe, most likely. Sorry for the quality of the image. I haven't created any mod for this. I might try to do it one day in the future. Who knows? Yeah, some nice look of the hangar bay from here. Then going up to the apartments. As you can see, there are only 2 very small apartments, but there is everything you might need. TV screen, a bed, a desk, an armory to put your suit, your helmet, your gloves, everything. A bathroom, of course, with shower, everything, every comfort for you, dear engineer. The other room As you can see, it's more or less the same. I just replaced the planter with the couch. The armory is the other model. So no one will be envious of the other. The rooms are very, very similar. Alright, let's go back and wrap up this episode. There we are. I was also working on the other control room on the other side. As you can see, I have already the medical bay and a container, a control seat. It's another model. As I said, I'm going to make slight changes to the interior design and also exterior. Alright, so that's it for this episode, and see you the next time. Please take care of yourself and bye bye.